I'm Dabira Oluwagbile, and this is Established TV. The show today is centered on the rise of kidnapping in Nigeria, especially the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. According to the International Center for Investigative Reporting, ICIR, from the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, ACLED, over 380 persons and counting were kidnapped between December 1st, 2023 and January 3rd, 2024 across Nigeria under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Affected states include Anambra, Benue, Cross River, Delta, Enugu, Kaduna, Katsina, Kogi, Lagos, Nasarawa, Ogun, Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, Zamfara, and especially the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Reports reveal that the residents of Abuja experienced an upsurge in kidnapping activities towards the end of 2023, and it continued into the new year. Residents of Buhari Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, were most affected as 3 separate housing estates were attacked by kidnappers and about 30 occupants were abducted within the period.
I am Spencer Chijoke by name, from Enugu State. So on Monday night, around after 9 p.m., like 15 after 9, I boarded a Sienna heading to Lagos. On my way to Lagos, around 1:45 a.m., we got to Benin. So the driver took Benin bypass. On getting to Ahor police station, after we left Ahor police station, we met another checking point where soldiers are. We left that checking point where soldiers are. After some few minutes drive, we had an attack, and it was from Fulani henchmen. They were numbering about 7 guys, fully armed with cutlass and a lot of things. So they took us all from the Sienna bus that we boarded. So about 4 of us, they took us inside the bush and left others with the driver. So since then, we've been in the bush, no food, no water. We've been in the bush since Monday night. We've been in the bush since then. Till today, they were saying that we are going to pay ransom of 10 million. We have been pleading them, and they are beating us, starving us, a lot of things. So today being Friday, they gave us gari to drink so that we can sustain ourselves.
Around the same time, about 7 people from the nearby Arab Road residential area in Kubwa town were kidnapped. Since the start of 2024, many residents have reportedly been abducted in the FCT. 7 people, all from the same family, were kidnapped by gunmen in Zumwa 1 area in the capital. And although the violence is mostly in satellite towns such as Buran and Kuje, data shows a steady increase in abduction in the main city centers in Abuja Municipal Council area, bringing insecurity closer to the heart of Nigeria's government. This raises the concern: why has there been a rise of kidnapping in Nigeria, especially in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja? Still on the focus of the show, why has there been a rise of kidnapping in Nigeria from the end of last year till which has spanned into this year, most especially in Abuja, the federal capital of Nigeria? We are going to focus on poverty as one of the likely causes. Poverty is a complex socio-economic condition characterized by the lack of essential resources and opportunities needed to meet basic human needs. These resources include inadequate income, shelter, food, clean water, education, and healthcare. Poverty can manifest in various forms, such as absolute poverty, that's the privation of basic needs, and relative poverty, falling below a certain income threshold compared to the general population. it often leads to vulnerability, inequality, and limited access to opportunities for social and economic advancement. Poverty can be influenced by factors such as unemployment, low wages, lack of education, discrimination, poor governance, and systematic inequalities. Poverty, by depriving individuals of basic necessities and opportunities, can drive them to resort to crime as a means of survival or to improve their economic circumstances. The Nigerian Multidimensional Poverty Index MPI 2022 shows that poor people in Nigeria experience over 1/4 of all possible deprivations. There are 65% multidimensionally poor people in Nigeria. 86.1 million live in the north, while 35%, nearly 47 million, live in the south. Unemployment is one of the propellers that fund poverty. Kidnapping can be said to be rampant because the government has failed to address the challenge of unemployment amongst the youths. According to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, informal employment rate in Q2 2023 was 92.7%. The percentage of youth not in employment, education, or training, NEET rate, is 13.8%. As poverty drives people to kidnapping and other crimes. Could this be linked to the cost of living? An average Nigerian's monthly cost is 356,602 naira without rent, but the minimum wage is still at 30,000 naira. And the employer for private firm salaries average at 89,000 naira. The poverty situation in Nigeria is the likely reason that triggers some people to partake in kidnapping. To elaborate on this is Mr. Mark Jatau, a political analyst, policy strategist, and crime and security expert. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Mark.
It feels good to be here.
What is your take on poverty, the cost and unemployment, and these other factors that are likely to be the cause for the rise in kidnapping in Nigeria, especially in the Federal Capital Territory?
Okay, so I am going to start by talking about a theory that could best help us understand the situation. In the 60s, an amazing theory was propounded by 5 psychologists. It's called the frustration aggression theory. Now, the major underpinnings of this theory is that um, society or actions of people are propelled by something propels people's actions. And that something is that when people are frustrated, aggression is inevitable. And this aggression can, express itself in diverse forms. And what we are seeing currently in the country is the palpable interpretation of, the pulse the country is currently facing. So yes, indeed, poverty is a major catalyst for crime. Many years ago, I had my professor telling me a story I found quite absurd, but then, there's a lot of sense in it. And it was about the Great Depression and, nations of the world, experiencing severe unemployment, crime rates were in the high and all of that. So, a philosopher advised that government should employ citizens to, go to a forest to dig the hole, and those citizens should be paid a wage. And after that is done, they should employ another set of people to pack that sand back into the hole and pay those people. So yeah, the idea behind that is when people are busy, you know, it takes their mind off, crime. It takes their mind off, nefarious activities. So when people get busy, no matter how little it is, they're able to, engage their minds and into some meaningful or productive activity. In our case in Nigeria, the level of unemployment is alarming, and it increases. I mean, it decreases the purchasing ability of people. And by the way, we have, a high population of young people, who apparently are not doing anything. So yes, indeed, this situation has put people in a condition where they are, they are compelled to want to engage in acts of kidnapping. So it is no surprise. Whatever we are seeing in the country is no surprise. They are symptoms of, the real situation our country is in.
Still on the focus of the show today, the rise of kidnap in Nigeria, especially in the Federal Capital Territory. Asking the question, why? We're going to be focusing now on political influence as a likely cause for the rise of kidnap in Nigeria, especially in Abuja. The political influence on crime rates in Nigeria can be significant due to various factors such as corruption, weak governance, ineffective law enforcement, and political instability. Corruption within political institutions can undermine law enforcement efforts and perpetuate impunity, allowing criminal activities to thrive. Additionally, political instability and conflicts can create an environment conducive to crime by disrupting social order and weakening the rule of law. As we explore the root cause of kidnapping in Nigeria, it's important to examine the political influence of those in power and those who were in power. Election periods can also be a likely cause under this criterion. And the speculations that a lot of Nigerian politicians are hungry for power and use this means to discredit the government in power. Analysis of data as collected by the Nigerian Security Tracker (NST) for May 2022 shows that at least 594 people were killed while 227 were kidnapped over a month. In the previous month, 917 persons were killed and 343 abducted. Knowing that the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is the seat of power and the central government in Nigeria is quite concerning. Kidnapping has continued to worsen even after the elections, and also because of the complicity and participation of security agents and their godfathers. From January 2021 to June 30th, 2003, 40 kidnap cases were recorded in FCT Abuja with a staggering 236 victims. This incident translates not only to human tragedies but also to substantial economic losses, with verified ransom payments amounting to 653.7 million naira between 2021 and 2022. A report by S.B. Morgan further revealed that Abuja ranked 11th among places with rampant abductions, emphasizing the need for comprehensive and sustained efforts to curb this menace. Still with us to examine this more closely is Mr. Mark, a political analyst, policy, crimes and security expert. What is your take on this? And do you think there's a political underline to the rise of kidnap in the Federal Capital Territory?
Okay, yeah, I mean, I am of the view that everything is political, but politics is not everything. What this means is that nations rise and fall on their politics. And this is even beyond elite consensus. It is more about leadership, right? So every nation of the world that has, made significant progress, um, we can tie that closely to the function of, politics, political leaders, and the kind of decisions they make. For a fact, Nigerian political elites earn the most bogus salaries worldwide. Nigerian security agencies are poorly remunerated worldwide. The average, the monthly income of an average civil servant is not enough to meet the most fundamental needs, as it were, in Nigeria today. So yes, as a country, as leaders, um, a lot of very absurd decisions have been made that I think would only aggravate, like I said earlier, um, the level of aggression and hence the kinds of, increase in crime rates we see. I give it a typical example. Late last year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented an appropriation bill to the National Assembly. Now, a chunk of that appropriation bill was, as far as I'm concerned, for frivolities. How do I mean? At a time where the country is talking about austerity measures, leaders across board are telling Nigerians to be patient, to wait, things will get better, it is just going to be for a while and everything is going to fix itself. The leaders themselves have not shown an example of being willing to sacrifice. They have not shown an example of being willing to embrace the austerity measures they so glamorize for the rest of Nigerians to adopt. So I think it is, very, very absurd. And it is closely linked to, the high rate of kidnappings in the country.
Our focus is still on the likely causes of the rise of kidnap in Nigeria, most especially the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Another likely cause might be the lack of consequences. Lack of consequences as a means of kidnapping refers to a situation where perpetrators of kidnapping face minimal or no punishment for their actions. In some regions or under certain circumstances, kidnappers may operate with impunity, either due to weaknesses in law enforcement, corruption, or lack of resources to apprehend these criminals and to investigate and prosecute such crimes effectively. The National Anti-Kidnap Law could be found within the Nigerian Terrorism Prevention Act 2011, which is meant to promote the protection of persons and their properties from abuse, as well as enhance freedom of others in the same society.
You see the man?
Where? Come show me.
Yeah,
Come.
this very place.
Where?
This very place.
Where?
This very
Under
place.
this tree?
Go the place, stand for the place.
Go stand for there.
This very place.
Maybe not hear you.
This very place.
Go stand for the place where you drop the man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And look at the camera.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now una drop am.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Then after una drop am, wetin una come do?
Look at the camera.
We leave and go.
We just you no die.
No be say you no die. After he die, we leave and go.
I take die. I take die. Face here, face here.
Okay. Now kill, we kill him.
And na take kill am.
Now cut, we cut him neck.
Na cut, we
Yes,
cut. Abi na cut, you cut am.
No be only me cut him.
Who hold the knife?
Who
Cut
hold the
him.
knife?
Now me hold the knife. And now the rest people, now them hold am.
The
Hold
leg.
the leg. And
Who hold the
hand.
leg?
The leg.
Eh.
Now Abdul Malik. And
Okay.
the person where hold the hand. Now this person.
Easy.
Eze. Oneshojo. David.
Okay.
Melega.
How much you collect from the man before the relatives of the man before now finally kill him?
Now 350. Now they bring. So after dem bring the 350, then Abdul now say if he allow this man go, say he don enter problem, say make me help am. I say toh, make I pray first. He say no, time dey go, time dey go. I say toh, I have to pray first. Anything wey I dey do for life, prayer first before you take anything. After I pray finish, then na I come do am.
Come do wetin?
Na we come kill am.
Was released on the 12th of December after paying around $30,000 worth 30 million.
Sit down there.
Apprentice of Operation Responsive, through painstaking investigation, arrested.
You come here. This here.
The operation kidnapping scam.
It is to this end that the Senate in July 2020 proposed the raising of the punishment for the offense of kidnapping from the current maximum punishment of 10 years imprisonment to a sentence of life imprisonment. These resolutions of the Senate followed the third reading of the passage of a bill for an act to amend the Criminal Code Act CAP C38, Laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004. On a domestic level, in an attempt to combat this crime, other states have also adopted various laws to combat kidnapping. In the United States, the federal criminal law makes kidnapping a serious felony offense. Prison sentences may reach 20 years or more, depending on prior convictions and the circumstances of the case. In the UK, those found guilty of kidnapping or false imprisonment can face anywhere from 12 months to 12 years of imprisonment. However, in Nigeria, there are many of these perpetrators that escape the wrath of the law. Minor crimes grow into serious ones if perpetrators are not arrested expeditiously, prosecuted, and justice meted out to the offender. Situating this with the broken window theory, the lack of punishment for kidnappers over time has made it look attractive for potential criminals who believe they can commit similar crimes and go scot-free. A signal of indifference and lack of consequences leads to increased fear of crime and weakening of social controls, thus paving the way for bigger transgressions. Mr. Mark Total, please shed more light on this.
I mean, absolutely. I agree that where crime is, you know, treated with kid gloves, it gives room for it to blossom. As a result, yes, laws need to be stricter as regards, offenses such as kidnapping. I think it is going to be, overflogging the horse to suggest this. For me, I think that this is what should have been done ab initio when the law was created. The punishment, and as a matter of fact, this cuts across every other crime in the country. Punishments for these crimes are, little to nothing, and as such, it gives room for people to engage in this crime. So yes, I feel that the National Assembly should make stiffer laws that would serve as to discourage people from engaging in acts of kidnapping. Now, I think I also need to make the point. There is this argument, about people who pay ransoms for kidnapping. Look, the truth is this. You can't kidnap a loved one and ask the family to just fold their hands and do nothing. I mean, it's not possible. And to think that, insisting that family members who come together to pay these ransoms are equally, liable to being charged to court is, in my mind, is very unfair, very, very unfair. So yes, we shouldn't allow the already frustrated families to still go through the pain of charging them to court for paying ransom. So yes, in addressing, in my honest view, in addressing this issue, we need to address them from the root. And the root is in fixing issues of unemployment. You know, Dudley Sears said, what has happened to unemployment? What has happened to inequality? What has happened to poverty? If we handle these three issues as a country and we handle it holistically, from the federal government to the state government to the local level, I believe that there is going to be, mass prosperity in the land, and then the likelihood for kidnappings will reduce significantly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mack. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on the show today. The kidnapping menace in the Federal Capital Territory poses a severe threat not only to the safety of Abuja's residents, but also to the nation's international standing. Urgent and coordinated action is imperative to address the root causes, enhance security measures, and build public trust. For Established TV Nigeria, I'm Dabira Oluwagbile. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more groundbreaking insights and analysis. Thank you.